Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. In today's video we've got two stories and both of them have updates, so let's get started with the first one. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user OKInevitable7692. Am I the a-hole for being truthful and admitting that I find my wife unattractive after her surgery? My wife had plastic surgery recently. We had discussed it and I was against it. It was not my decision and ultimately I had no say. She looks weird now. She had the fat sucked out of her face, lip fillers, a neck lift and other stuff I don't really get. She gives me uncanny valley vibes now. It freaks me out. She is fully healed now and she wants to go back to normal, like me initiating sex. I have done so, but not as much as I used to, and when I do, I try to make sure there is very little light. It's been a few months, and I kind of dread having to look at her. Obviously, she has noticed. She has been bugging me to tell her what's up. I've tried telling her I'm just tired from work, or that I'm run down. Really, anything except the truth. She broke down and asked me if I was having an affair. I said that I wasn't. She asked to look at my phone. I unlocked it for her and handed it over. I wasn't worried about her finding anything because there was nothing to find. She spent an hour looking through it and found nothing. She asked me to explain why I changed. I tried explaining that I just wasn't interested right now. Nothing I said was good enough for her. She kept digging. I finally told her the truth. I wasn't harsh or brutally honest. I just told her that her new face wasn't something I found attractive and that I was turned off. She asked if that's why I turned off all the lights now, and I said yes. She started crying and said that she needed time alone. She went to stay with her sister. I have been called every name in the book since this happened. Her sister said I'm a piece of crap for insulting my wife's looks. Her friends all think I'm the a-hole. I tried not to say anything. I can't force myself to find her attractive. I still love her, but her face is just weird now. She looks like the blue alien from The Fifth Element. Well, OP, it is a crappy situation, but no, you are not the a-hole. And for those of you who don't know what The Fifth Element is, it's a really good movie, and this is the blue alien that OP talks about. I'm guessing OP's wife doesn't look blue or have tubes coming out of her face. In any case, no, OP, again, I don't think you're the a-hole. You guys talked about it. You told her you didn't think it was necessary, you didn't like it, that was your opinion. She went ahead and did it because, well, she has the right to do it because, well, it's her face, she can do it. But that doesn't mean you have to like it once she did it. Just like everything else, actions have consequences, and changing your face to something your partner doesn't recognize and has said that they might not like it, well, you can't be surprised when they don't like it. Now, regarding the friends and the sister all calling you an a-hole for insulting your wife's looks, you didn't insult her looks, not at all. And I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say I believe all those people calling you an a-hole are the ones that convinced her to do it and probably even told her that you were gonna love it. And what do you guys think about this whole situation? What is your judgment regarding what OP said to his wife? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Willow Violet says, not the a-hole. I love my partner's face. I love the lines I've seen develop over the years. I love the way his eyes wrinkle when he laughs. My favorite place in the world is to have my face buried in the crook of his neck, cheek to cheek. When we make love, his face fills my vision and becomes my whole world. I would miss that face so much if he changed it with plastic surgery. I would still love him, but I would feel like I lost something dear to me. It is her face and she can do what she wants with it, but she underestimated how much you loved her the way she was. I understand. RN Jinx 3 says, not the a-hole. It's not my thing and I am very lucky that it's not my husband's thing either. You discussed it, you voiced your concerns, she did it anyway, as was her right. But choices have consequences, and these are the consequences she actively chose knowing how you felt. Freedom of choice doesn't mean freedom from consequences. She can't pretend to be all surprised Pikachu now. Well, I mean, I guess technically she could, but I'm not buying. And sicking her flying monkeys on you? Not cool. And Infinite Recover 7100 says, not the a-hole. It's not your fault you don't find her new face attractive. That isn't a conscious choice. I'm all for people doing what they want with their body, but if they are in a relationship and their partner states their dislike of the body modification, then that person should keep in mind the risk of doing it will be their partner's lack of attraction. Now, do I think you might have wanted to fess up on what was wrong much earlier? Absolutely. Additional information from Opie's comments. First, my wife is 36. She said she wanted to get this stuff done. I said I would prefer it if she didn't. I literally showed her pictures of before and after celebrities that I found attractive prior to their surgeries. Meg Ryan, the girl from Glee, the girl from Lip Sync Battle. And I was clear in telling her that I no longer thought they were attractive. She said that she would feel better about herself if she got it. We talked and argued about it for a year before she did it. It started with lip fillers and ended up with buccal fat removal. She isn't hideous, she just doesn't look like herself anymore. Remember when the girl from Dirty Dancing got a nose job and no one recognized her? Now, I have not stopped loving my wife. I do not want to divorce and will not pursue one. I am just not attracted to her face. I find it weird how many of you think love is the same as sexual attraction. I really feel bad for you guys because it isn't. I love her. She's brilliant. She loves books. She can quote the Talladega Nights and The Matrix from beginning to end. Her banana bread recipe is insane. She walked from San Diego to San Francisco. She scuba dives. She is my ringer when we play softball. She gives amazing shoulder rubs. She has a project car. She smells fantastic. I did everything in my power to get her to understand how beautiful I thought she was and that she didn't need this. Finally, and to clarify the money thing, her mom gave her the money to get this work done as a birthday gift. And yeah, her mom and sister are all about their looks. Her mom and sister look like the Surgeon General of Beverly Hills. Alright, well, the majority of the community agreed that OP was not the a-hole, that he did everything he could, but in the end, it was her choice to do what she wanted. However, there were a lot of people out there telling OP how much of an a-hole he was because of what he said to his wife and the fact that he didn't find her attractive anymore and blah blah blah. OP had a good response to all of them. And of course, these comments were mostly downvoted to oblivion. In any case, it's time to move on to the update to see how the story ends. But before that, if you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to click that like button, leave a comment in the comment section with your opinion, and if you haven't subscribed yet to become a part of our community, don't forget to click that subscribe button. It's right there. Now, let's move on to the update. My wife came home yesterday and we finally had a long talk. She told me that the reason she had the surgery was because her mom and sister talked her into it. They convinced her that she was starting to look old and that I would find someone else to be with if she did not do something. That was why her mom gave her the money for the operations. Her mom and sister looked like Bruce Campbell in Escape from LA. Yes, I'm a huge sci-fi nerd. And a quick pause to check out OP's reference to Bruce Campbell. They are the very last people on the planet who should be telling anyone to get plastic surgery. And no, I have never openly commented on her handsome Squidward relatives. Anyway, I used some of the comments I read on my post as talking points. I told her that I loved her and that she was the person that I wanted to spend my life with. I told her that the surgery would take a while longer to settle down and that as I got more used to her new face, I would learn to appreciate it. She asked me if I wanted her to see if she could get it reversed. I almost screamed at her. The last thing in the world I want is for her to F up her face more than it already is. I asked her if she could please just leave it and let me get used to it. We talked for about 3 hours and we decided that her mom and sister would not be a part of any of our life decisions going forward. She is going to leave her face alone and give me a chance to get used to it. We are going to look for a marriage counselor and maybe an individual counselor for each of us. I am going to make an effort to show her every day how I still find her desirable, and she is going to make an effort to believe me when I tell her I love her the way she is. We are going to talk to her mom and sister and tell them that we are taking a break from them. I don't think they'll look shocked at this, because they can't. They have the facial mobility of a bathroom tile. Still, we are going to block them and get our crap together before we allow them back into our lives. Thank you to everyone who tried to help me. I would like to add that I did not think there was that many guys out there with a weird blue squid lady fetish. It isn't for me, but you do you. If it is a head tentacle thing, I prefer togrutas like Ahsoka. Alright OP, well I'm gonna call this a positive update in the making. You guys were able to talk and you came up with a plan to move forward together. I think it's a great decision to sideline the mom and the sister, considering they are the ones that preyed on your wife's insecurities, telling her that you were going to leave her if she didn't change her face. Oh man. But anyways, what's done it's done and you guys just need to move forward. So on that note, here's wishing you both the best in the future OP. Thank you so much for sharing and take care. And now, let's move on to the next post that, like I said in the beginning of the video, also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Trees, and it's by user FairSun7357. My granddad ate one of my weed brownies 10 minutes ago. I'm freaking out. Do I call the ER? Will I go to jail? I'm visiting my grandparents for the whole week, and I brought my brownies and my pen to the house to last the week. I kept the brownies sealed in my bag, but I accidentally left the bag in the kitchen. I guess my granddad found it. I walked into the living room and there he was, eating one of my brownies and sipping tea. I'm legit freaking out. What do I do? I'm only 19, I live at home and my family hates weed. My anxiety is skyrocketing. Do I just tell my granddad it's weed and take it the hard way? Is it safe for older people to eat a brownie? I'm from Denmark. Sorry for the bad English. Well, OP, I don't know the laws in Denmark, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't go to jail if somebody eats one of your brownies. Now, depending on how strong that brownie is, I wouldn't think it's dangerous for your grandfather to eat it either. And considering I'm not an expert on the subject, I think the worst things that could happen is he's either gonna sleep a lot, he's gonna eat a lot of food, or be super thirsty. Or maybe all three at the same time. That could happen too. You didn't give him anything like acid or that kind of stuff, so he's not gonna take his clothes off and go out running in the street or something like that. He's just gonna chill. However, you need to put on your big boy pants and come clean to your grandpa. And then accept the consequences, if there are any, of what you did. You left out the bag in the kitchen. Nobody knew what they were. You should have been more careful with your bag of special brownies. And what do you guys think? What kind of advice would you give OP? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out what the Trees community had to say. Slight Confidence 51 says, you need to tell him. It sucks, but the guy is about to be high ass F, and it's better he knows what's about to happen. Lesson learned. Senior Bud says, if only 20 minutes has passed, you at least have the opportunity to inform him and let him make his own decisions. A simple finger down the throat upchuck would solve this in a matter of minutes. Waiting till it kicks in puts everyone in a whole different situation. It's your call, but personally, I'd man up and deal with the consequences. I'm 67 and I like to get high, but at my own pace. Largebread245 says, just tell them it's your responsibility to label your drugs and not leave them about, so level with them. Maybe they'll be excited, but it's too soon enough that they could simply make them throw up to not experience anything. OP's edit. It's been 35 minutes since he ate it, and it hasn't hit yet. I'm still deciding whether or not to tell him, but I don't think you guys understand the trouble I would be in. Weed is also illegal over here in Denmark. I will provide updates, but right now I need to calm down and figure out a solution. Edit 2. 3 hours later. Let me try to wrap my head around what has happened. First of all, I took your guys' advice and told him. And also, thank you guys. I wouldn't have had the balls to tell him if it wasn't for some of the comments. I am also aware that I am an irresponsible idiot, so don't worry. He and my grandma were sitting watching TV 45-ish minutes after he ate the brownie, and I asked him to talk to him one-on-one about some art homework. I sat down in his home office and asked him if he felt weird after eating my brownie. Not at all. Why are you asking? He said in a confused tone. I basically told him straight up that my friend from school made marijuana brownies and gave some to me, but I was gonna throw them out. Coward. He didn't believe me for a second. It was obvious to tell, but he quickly put 2 and 2 together and realized that he had just consumed weed and was going to be high. I told him that it could take a while for it to hit him, but it wasn't dangerous, and it was probably best if he went to sleep and to please not tell Grandma or anyone else for that matter. What happened next is such a mind F. I knew my grandpa was an artist and a painter, and I guess an old hippie. But I didn't expect him to tell me straight up that he has smoked weed plenty of times and also taken edibles. He told me about the times he would hide from my grandma to smoke and how it helped him with his art. He told me that he used weed to expand his consciousness for his art projects and his paintings. He told me I was a little crap for leaving the brownies out like that, but he was smiling the entire time, and I felt like he kinda liked that I was getting into weed for some reason. We sat down and talked about everything for 30 minutes, and when my grandma came into the room, we both shushed her away. I really felt like I connected with my grandpa during this conversation. Now, I don't know if it's because he was already high, but he told me he couldn't feel a thing. He told me and my grandma not to disturb him while he was working in his office. He has been there for the past 60 minutes and he definitely feels it. Jazz music is on his speakers and he is lighting up his cigars. When I peeked my head in there, he was closing his eyes and really feeling the music. I think my grandma thinks he has been drinking a little and told me to give him his space. Alright, well the community was able to calm OP down and to come clean, but apparently they didn't motivate him enough to actually own it. Come on OP. Your friend made marijuana brownies to give to you and you took them to your grandparents' house because, that's what you do when you're visiting them, but you took them to throw them out. Anyway, Grandpa's okay, he's enjoying the music, and I'm pretty sure Grandma knows exactly what's going on. And also, OP's mind was apparently blown to know that his grandpa hasn't been all his life just watching TV and zipping on tea. In any case, we have a final update to this story, so let's finish the video with that. I appreciate all the comments, ranging from the good wholesome ones to the bad ones calling me a piece of crap. I deserve it, and I own up to my mistakes. I was lucky this time. Anyway, as I said in my edit, my granddad basically just chilled in his office, and I brought him water to make sure he was good. His eyes were absolutely blazed, and he had a big smile on his face. I haven't seen him light up like that in my entire life. He seemed thankful for the experience. Anyway, I left him alone, and he joined us later at dinner. He handled it pretty well. He was talkative, cracking jokes, and my grandma definitely thinks he's drunk. But she hasn't said much. It's after dinner now, and we are just chilling together. My granddad and I. We are talking about life, spirituality, and weed. Lots of weed talk. He wants to know all my high stories, and we are just laughing away. He is still baked out of his mind, but I must say he is taking it well. These are hash brownies, so they hit like a horse. I can definitely say that it's been one of my weirdest days so far. What started in pure paranoia is now ending in what I would say is almost too good to be true. My granddad knows I smoke and is cool with it. I have become so much closer to him and it's like we are buddies now. My grandma is confused about how we are suddenly bonding so well. Maybe she needs a brownie. All jokes aside, I will be here until Saturday and I'm already fantasizing about smoking a joint with my old man. But for now, let's have him write this out first. OP's edit. My granddad went to bed early that night and everything was cool as expected. The following days were so much different from what I've seen of my granddad. He seemed so alive, like he seemed so creative all of a sudden in his thinking and expression of words. Also, our relationship has certainly been closer these couple of days, which is pretty cool. The following day at night, I asked if he wanted to smoke a joint with me later that week, and not surprisingly, he told me he would definitely hit it after Grandma was asleep. I'm thinking about taking a picture of us smoking and uploading it with his permission. It will be such a memory to have. I wouldn't have handled it the way I did without your comments, Reddit. You saved me. Legends. Well, OP, I'm going to call it a positive and good update for you because you're bonding with your grandpa. Although, I'm going to suggest if you want to take that picture, take it for you as a memory, not something you want to post online to get internet points. And also, not something to be sharing with the rest of the family because this is something that's just between you and your granddad. So cherish that. Take care, OP, and thank you for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.